advent of Ledzilla, the world's first onboard focusing LED light. Strange shape, works with a single, very, very powerful LED, and I believe this is the world's first focusable and fully smoothly dimmable single LED light, and this is where you focus it. And if you don't watch the light, it even has an indicator here that tells you I'm in flood or in spot, and pretty wide focusing range. So sometimes we've said it focuses like a Dedolight, and it's true because it has the Dedolight double aspheric optics in there, 2 lenses. And that helps the light distribution, the evenness of the light distribution, and helps us in the tremendous focusing range. Having a single LED also gives us the advantage that we can play with the barn door. On a multi-LED light, and even many of the onboard lights have multi-LEDs, you can't get a clean barn door shadow. So some of them you see barn doors, but they're pretty useless. This one is useful. It gives a very distinct barn door edge. But sometimes when you look into an LED, it appears still quite aggressive. The lenses spread it a little bit, giving you a smoother light distribution. But then we also have the wide angle diffuser that you can fold up, and that makes it just a little easier to look at, and it spreads the angle. And now if you use the barn door, you achieve a very graduated light and shadow transition. And sometimes that's good, and this gives you the choice of doing both. Then, of course, you can change it to tungsten light by a flip-down tungsten conversion filter that gives you clean 3300 Kelvin with a very useful color quality. Here we see it powered by a tiny little battery that may run it for an hour. There are bigger versions of the mini DV batteries, and when you use those and run it on full, then you may have to change every 5.5 hours. But you have options. You can put different battery shoes on there, and you can also unplug here or have a version without the battery shoe at all and go with an external cable, go to your big camera battery and run it all day long. Because although it has a pretty high useful light output, it does use 8 watt, and that's a much lower power consumption than we would have expected from onboard lights in the past. You can fold in the 2 filters, close the barn doors, and then here's a little yellow button that allows us, if we want to take the whole front part off the light. And people say, I know what that's for. That's for changing the LED. Yes, you may have to do that about every 70 years, 70. So it's not really for changing the LED. And when you have to do that, don't call me. The reason why we want to take the front part off is because we are developing, we have prototypes, and sometime soon we'll be in production with some other front-end accessories, like shooting at night in the Mongol tent, and you're looking out of the entrance and you see the campfire. And with our beautiful cameras these days, you can do that. Then we stick like a Chinese lantern on here, hang it up, keep it out of the shot, and it will give us some very gentle general light. Or we take that off and put on a softbox about this size, which will make it easier, gentler, more pleasant to light faces. And the third one is a soft tube that may come in very handy for lighting car interiors at night. And then you want to play with it further. You can cover part of it and direct the light. And you can even change the color on it because it has a filter slot, and you can put a little gel filter in there. And we made it so it fits the little swatch books that you have. So you've got an incredible choice of filter colors and effects that even the rich Australian people who run the big 40-foot trucks may not have on the truck that day. So we're trying to make it as practical as we possibly can.